Welcome to Fool's Key Tarot. I'm Ben, and this is a daily reading for Thursday, June 12th, 2025. We're going to draw 3 cards, one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. We'll begin with the past. We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. This can be not getting the credit you deserve for something that you worked hard on. It can be a sense of shame or humility. For the present, we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. So this can be feeling out of gas, losing your spark, not having any energy, not having any direction, or a missed opportunity. In the future, we have the 10 of Swords, self-defeat, despair, hitting rock bottom. Let's see if we can interpret all 3 cards chronologically and find out if there's a way to avoid the 10 of Swords in our future, at least the harshest or most painful versions of the card. So going back to the past, it looks like there's something that you've worked hard on and not received the credit or attention or validation that you deserved. And that has led to, in the present, a sense of directionless and feeling burnt out, because if all of your hard work isn't leading to much, then what is the point of that hard work? And that's, I think, how you're feeling in the present right now, a sense of questioning yourself, doubting your purpose, doubting your goal, whether or not it's the right goal, or doubting your methods. Am I actually working towards that goal in the right way, or do I have the wrong idea about how to get there? So either the goal or the methods, I think you're questioning today, maybe both. And I think the reason for that is because in the past, you feel like you haven't been recognized or compensated or rewarded for the effort that you have been putting in. And so naturally that would lead to questioning whether or not it's worth it. But I think what the cards are telling you is that if you give up because of that lack of validation, then you are going to end up leading to your own defeat. That doesn't mean that adjusting course or finding a new goal or finding better methods isn't the right idea. The cards are not saying that you should not react to this past where you were disappointed or let down. But the cards are saying that if you let that be the reason for driving your current state and driving your current decision making, then that is going to lead you to make the wrong decision that will ultimately cause your own defeat. And so even though you might feel a little frustrated or downtrodden today, there is a possibility of feeling much worse later on, I think, and having a more definitive loss. Right now, it's not that you've lost the goal today or lost your objective. It's just that you're feeling discouraged. Well, in the future, you could actually have the door shut on this goal or this opportunity that you're working towards. It's not shut now, but you might close it for yourself by overreacting to your past. So I think that if you're feeling unsure or unmotivated, then it's important to validate that feeling. Don't try to just stuff it down and ignore it. You're feeling it for a reason. And I think that one of those reasons, one of the main contributors, is this past sense of not getting what you deserved, or not having the work or energy output result in the kinds of outputs that you want to see. And that's frustrating, and it's contributing to your current feeling, but it might not be the only contribution to your current mindset. This might be what's on your mind right now, and so you might think that your current mindset is due almost entirely to that, but there may be other factors involved, and that this past is only making it worse or bringing it to the surface, but it's actually not the only contributing factor, or maybe not even the main contributing factor. It could just be what has brought it to the surface. If you are not aware of why you feel this way, you just kind of have this sense of unmotivation or lack of energy, then you might think about patterns from your past, in particular patterns of work and reward, when you feel like the reward did not match the work. And that is going to be contributing to your current mindset if you're not already aware of that. But I think with this Ten of Swords in the future, the cards are trying to warn you that it's very easy to overthink things and to overreact to things and to give up at the wrong moment because you haven't seen results yet. But a lack of results in the past does not indicate a lack of results in the future. It might indicate that you need to change something up or rethink an approach, but it doesn't mean that you should give up or despair. And I think you're on the edge of that right now. And the cards are telling you that it would be easy to fall into that mindset, but it will lead to defeat and it will lead to disappointment. So maybe a course adjust is necessary. Maybe some changes should be made, but make sure that you consider all of the factors of the situation, not just whatever is sticking out most in your mind. I think there are more factors to be considered, and you want to make sure to take all of them into account as you decide whether or not to continue on your path and how to continue on that path. Because if you just get stuck on some disappointment and how it didn't work out before, then if you're fixated on that, it's going to throw your decision making out of balance and lead to this defeat. That could be coming in your future. But if you address your lack of direction or motivation or energy in a more holistic sense, accounting for your past failures, not necessarily a failure, but a failure to get rewarded or recognized, look at everything from your past and your present that could be relevant to the situation. There might be things that aren't coming as quickly to the top of your mind, but are also playing a role. And if you don't take the time to think through all of those things, then you will be headed for this Ten of Swords self-defeat and utter disappointment. But the cards don't prescribe our future. They give us the information and the insight that we need about the current trajectory. And the reason for giving us that information is not just so that we can observe our fate occur as passive observers, but instead so that we can act if we wish to change our current fate. And so right now, it looks like things are headed in a negative direction, but it's definitely possible to change that. The Ace of Wands is a card of beginning. All of the aces represent new beginnings and new directions. So the fact that the ace is appearing in your present means now could be a great time for a new beginning or a new direction. And just make sure that it's not coming from a place only of disappointment, because, or resentment could be another representation of the Six of Wands here. And if that is your guiding principle, then the Ten of Swords will be in your future. But if you don't ignore this past, but try to gain the wisdom from it and gain the wisdom from your other circumstances, then you can figure out a direction tomorrow when this Ace of Wands maybe can get turned around and you have more energy and you feel like you have a direction again. And once you've done that, you have a real chance of avoiding the Ten of Swords. And I think the cards today are trying to help you figure out how to avoid that trap. So if you enjoyed this reading, then subscribe to see more. And if you'd like to learn about tarot cards or try some of my online guided readings, then head on over to foolskey.com where you can check that out. Thanks for watching and see you tomorrow.